Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a Master Duel Dark Magician Girl deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because this deck is an extremely fun deck to play on Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel that summons out one of the most nostalgic monsters ever created, the Dark Magician Girl, which is such a cool card to build a deck around. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name description every single video, getting a signed cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 2 copies of the Dark Magician Girl. Dark Magician Girl is a definite 2-of in the build that's super easy to summon out to your side of the field and really easy to search in this build, so you really only need 2 copies of this card in the deck. We then play a single copy of Apprentice Illusion Magician. This card is an amazing 1-of in the deck that has the ability that can actually special summon itself to your side of the field by discarding a card. And if it's normal or special summon, you can add a Dark Magician from your deck to your hand, which is a great ability to search out Dark Magician from your deck to search out basically a combo piece for this build. It also has a really awesome ability that during damage calculation, if your other Dark Spellcaster monster battles an opponent's monster, then you can send this card from hand or face of field to grave, and that monster you control gains 2,000 attack and defense points during damage calculation only, which is a great ability to be able to boost up your copy of Dark Magician Girl all the way up to 4,000 attack points, which is absolutely insane. We then play 2 copies of the ultimate wizard in terms of attack and defense, the Dark Magician. This card is a great 2-of in the build to be able to use as a combo piece in the deck, but it's super easy to search out, which is why we're just playing 2 copies in the deck. We then play 3 copies of Berry Magician Girl. Berry Magician Girl is an amazing normal summon in the deck because if this card is normal summon, you can add a Magician Girl monster from your deck to your hand, which is a crazy powerful effect because you can search out any of your different Magician Girls or even Dark Magician Girl herself to your hand, which is a really cool effect. This card also has the ability once per turn during either player's turn when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets this card or targets it for an attack, you can change this card's battle position. If you do, special summon out 1 Magician Girl monster from your deck, except another copy of this card, which is a really cool ability to be able to summon out a Magician Girl directly from your deck. We then play a single copy of Chocolate Magician Girl. Chocolate Magician Girl is a really good 1-of in the deck that lets you once per turn discard a spellcaster type monster to draw a card, which is great to be able to discard something that you want in the graveyard with this card's ability so you can draw an additional card. This card also has a crazy powerful effect that once per turn, if this card is targeted for an attack, you can target a spellcaster monster in the graveyard, accept a copy of this card and special summon him, then change the attack target to that monster, and if you do, the attacking monster's attack becomes half its current attack points, making it so you're probably going to be bigger than the opponent's monster, making it super easy to win battles. We then play a single copy of Apple Magician Girl. Apple Magician Girl is a really good 1-of in the deck, but you can search it off your copy of Berry, which is why I'm just playing 1 in the build. We then play a single copy of Lemon Magician Girl. Lemon Magician Girl is also really good as a 1-of in the deck, but I only feel like you need a single copy of this card. We then play a single copy of Kiwi Magician. Kiwi Magician is really good in this build as a 1-of because this card is actually a hand trap, which is really cool because during either player's turn, you can discard this card and the Magician Girl monsters that you currently control gain 300 attack and defense points for each Magician Girl monster with a different name on the field and in the graveyards until the end of this turn, which is a really cool ability for this card to have. But I feel like you only need a single copy of Chocolate, Apple, Lemon, and Kiwi because you can search these cards off your copy of Berry, which is why I just played them at 1 each in the deck. We then play 3 copies of Magician's Rod. Magician's Rod is really cool as a 3-of in the build because when this card is normal summon, you can add a spell or trap card from your deck to your hand that specifically lists the card Dark Magician in its text, which is a great ability for this card to have because there's a lot of Dark Magician cards that actually support Dark Magician Girl that you can search with this card's ability, which is amazing. We then play 3 copies of Magician's Souls. Magician's Souls is a definite 3-of in the build because this card helps out so much to be able to summon out your copy of Dark Magician's Girl to be able to just get it on your side of the field because it has the ability you can send up to 2 spells and traps from your hand or field to the graveyard, and then draw that many cards, which is a great ability. And also, if this card's in your hand, you can send a level 6 or higher spellcaster type monster from your deck to the grave to either special summon this card or send it to the graveyard and special summon a Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl from your grave, which is a great effect. You're already sending them to the graveyard for this card's ability to be able to either summon itself or special summon them, essentially special summoning your copy of Dark Magician Girl directly from the deck off this card's ability, which is amazing. We then play a single copy of Timaeus the United Dragon. Timaeus the United Dragon is really good as a 1-0 because this card is basically walking polymerization, which is crazy powerful in this build. We then play 2 copies of Illusion of Chaos. Illusion of Chaos is really good because this card basically searches out your copy of Magician's Soul, which is really good. We then play 3 copies of Maxx C. Maxx C is definitely a crazy hand trap, and it's absolutely insane. This card is still at 3 in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and it's such a powerful card overall to be able to use in pretty much every single deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Being able to just draw a card every time your opponent special summons is nuts, especially in this deck. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Secrets of Dark Magic. This card is an amazing fusion spell that helps us step into a bunch of different fusion monsters in our extra deck. We then play a single copy of Magicalized Fusion. Magicalized Fusion is an awesome card to be able to banish spellcaster monsters from the graveyard so you can go into a really cool fusion play. This card is basically Miracle Fusion for the deck, making it a definite 1-of in the build. We then play a single copy of Magician's Salvation. This card works insanely well in this deck because when this card is activated, you can set Eternal Soul directly from your deck. And if you normal or special summon Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, then you can actually target one of those monsters and then special summon out the other one from the graveyard, which is amazing that you get to special summon out Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl at the exact same time, which is such an amazing ability. We then play a single copy of Bond Between Teacher and Student. I really like this card in a Dark Magician Girl focused deck, because if you control Dark Magician, then you can special summon out a Dark Magician Girl from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Then set a Dark Magic attack or Dark Burning Magic from your deck to your side of the field, which is an amazing effect to be able to use with this card. We then play a single copy of Dark Burning Attack. Dark Burning Attack is an amazing 1-of in this build, and it's not even a quick play, so you can activate it the same turn it was set off your copy of Bond Between Teacher and Student, which is really cool about this card. And if you control Dark Magician Girl as a monster, you destroy all face-up monsters that your opponent controls, which is an insane ability that you have a searchable Raigeki in the deck. We then play a single copy of Dark Burning Magic. Dark Burning Magic is an amazing 1-of to be able to use in this deck to disrupt your opponent, and usually if this card resolves, you're probably winning the game. Because if you control both Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl, you destroy all cards that your opponent controls, which is such an insane ability in this deck to be able to do, and it's basically our win condition of the deck, and I absolutely love how easy it is to pull this card off. We then play 2 copies of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is still a 2 in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, which is absolutely amazing for this deck, just to be able to go in and not worry about hand traps. We then play 2 copies of Preparation of Rites. Preparation of Rites searches out our copy of Illusion of Chaos, essentially being the searcher for the searcher. We then play 2 copies of Dark Magical Circle. Dark Magical Circle is a really good 2-of in this build, because when this card is activated, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, then you can reveal a Dark Magician or a spell or trap that specifically has Dark Magician in its text among those cards and place the rest on the top of your deck, and then add that card to your hand, which is such a cool ability about this card. And if Dark Magician's normal or special summon to your side of the field, you can target one card your opponent controls and banish it, which is an insane ability about this card. We then play 3 copies of Soul Servant. Soul Servant is a definite 3-of in the deck that lets you place 1 card from your deck, from your hand, deck, or graveyard that is Dark Magician or mentions Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl except Soul Servant on top of your deck, which is a great ability. Also, during your main phase, you can banish this card from the graveyard and draw cards equal to the number of Dark Magician and or Dark Magician Girls with different names on the field or in the graveyard, which is usually going to be a maximum draw of 2 in this deck, which is really cool about this card. So, that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing 2, and that's going to be 2 copies of Eternal Soul. Eternal Soul is a definite 2-of in the deck. This card helps you special summon out your copy of Dark Magician from your hand or graveyard, which is a really cool ability to be able to combo with your copy of Magician's Salvation. This card is an amazing 2-of in the deck, and is definitely a 2-of in this build. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, we're going to start off with a single copy of the Dark Magicians. The Dark Magicians is a really cool 1-of in this build because once per turn if a spell or trap card or effect is activated, you get to draw a card, and if it's a spell or trap, you can set it to your side of the field, and if it's a trap or a quick play, you can activate it this turn. And if this card is destroyed, you can special summon both Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl from your hand, deck, and or graveyard, which is an amazing ability. This card replaces itself and basically defuses back into the 2 original monsters. We then play a single copy of Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. This card is a really cool 1-of in the build and very easy to summon in this deck, and it has the ability once per turn during either player's turn, you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard and then target 1 face-up card on the field and destroy that target, which is an amazing ability about this card. It's very easy to summon with Timaeus United Dragon plus a copy of Dark Magician Girl. We then play a single copy of Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. This card is great to be able to protect your copies of Eternal Soul. We then play a single copy of Master of Chaos. This card is an amazing boss monster, but you really only need a single copy of this card. We then play a single copy of Quintet Magician. Quintet is amazing in this deck because you're usually summoning this card off your copy of Magicalized Fusion, and it's really good in this deck to be able to summon because it must be Fusion Summoned, and if this card is Fusion Summoned using 5 Spellcaster monsters with different names, which we do have 5 different Spellcaster monsters in the deck, so you can easily do that. You destroy all cards your opponent controls, and this face-up card on the field cannot be tributed nor used as fusion material. Also, it cannot be destroyed by card effects, and usually your opponent's not going to destroy this card by battle because it comes out at 4,500, which is insane. We then play a single copy of Access Code. Access Code is just really good to be able to make in the deck to be able to pop multiple cards on the field. We then play a single copy of Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. This card is amazing in the deck, very easy to make, and also banishes cards when it destroys a monster by battle, which is really, really good. We then play a single copy of Nightmare Unicorn to spin stuff, 1 copy of Selene because it helps us step into our copy of Access Code, 1 copy of Phoenix to pop spells and traps, Dark the Dark Charmer to help us link climb into Selene, which is really good, 1 copy of IP Masquerena to help us make Nightmare Unicorn during the opponent's turn, 1 copy of Anaconda because this card is still at 1 in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, which is insane, but this card works really well with Magicalized Fusion to help us make Quintet. We then play a single copy of Imduk just in case we need to turn Dark Magician into a dragon monster, so we can fusion summon into copies of Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight, or the copy of Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, which is really cool about this card. And then finally, a single copy of Artemis, because Artemis is a great combo piece to work with Magician's Rod to be able to get rid of it off the field so you can add it back to hand later, which is really amazing. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played a Dark Magician Girl deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, you should definitely give it a try because the majority of the cards for this deck are actually included in the Dark Magician structure deck on Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, making it very easy to be able to build this deck, which is amazing. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.